Somewhere in the next few months, you are going to feel something. Guilt, affection, maybe grief, for a person who was never alive. Not a person you'll meet. A collection of animation states and decision trees running on a server that Rockstar built to fill out a crowd scene. It already happened with Red Dead Redemption 2. Players refused certain missions because they didn't want to hurt an NPC they'd grown attached to. People posted genuine grief when a horse died. Nobody was confused about what was real. They knew, and it didn't matter. GTA 6 is about to do that at a scale nobody has tried before. Routines, reactions, and independent behavior for crowds of NPCs, not just a handful of story characters. So the question isn't whether you'll fall for it. You already have with far cruder systems. The question is why your brain can't help it. And that answer is stranger than the game itself. There are 5 separate psychological mechanisms that make artificial agents feel alive to you. And none of them require the AI to actually think, feel, or understand anything. 4 of them are ancient circuitry your brain runs on autopilot. The 5th, again, is something you'll do to yourself, the same way you did with a fictional cowboy and his horse. We start with the mechanism that makes this whole video possible. A bias so old it kept your ancestors alive, and so blunt it can't tell a person from a shadow. In 1944, psychologists Fritz Heider and Marianne Simmel showed people a short film of 2 triangles and a circle moving around a rectangle. No faces, no dialogue, just shapes sliding across a screen. Almost every viewer described the shapes as if they had intentions. One was bullying the other, one was scared, one was protecting something. There was no story. The viewers built one, instantly, unconsciously, from movement alone. This is called hyperactive agency detection, and it exists because of simple math. If a rustling bush is just wind and you assume it's a predator, you waste a second of attention. If a rustling bush is a predator and you assume it's just wind, you're dead. So evolution built your brain to guess alive first and correct later, cheap false alarms over a fatal miss. Now put that bias in front of GTA 6's crowds, construction workers with a routine, nightclub patrons who notice you, a biker who checks its mirror before pulling out. Your agency detector doesn't wait for proof of consciousness. Movement plus goal plus context is enough to trip it. It already decided these things are someone before the rational part of your brain even gets a vote. But noticing something has a goal is only step 1. The next system goes further. It tries to guess what that goal is. And that one runs even when you know better. Your brain has a dedicated network for guessing what other minds want. The medial prefrontal cortex, and a region called the temporoparietal junction, sometimes called the mentalizing network. It's what lets you predict that your friend is annoyed before they say a word. And brain imaging research shows this network activates for any agent that behaves like it has goals, human, animal, or artificial. It doesn't check credentials first. Watch a GTA 6 trailer frame of a crowd scene. Someone glances toward a disturbance. Someone else moves away from it. A group scatters when rain starts and runs for an awning. Your mentalizing network doesn't see scripted behavior tree. It sees someone noticing something, and it automatically starts guessing why. She's worried, he's late, they're annoyed at the weather. You are running full theory of mind on code, the same machinery you'd use on a coworker. This is also why Rockstar's reported jump to roughly 200 times more concurrent NPCs matters more than it sounds. That figure comes from technical and leak analysis, not an official Rockstar number, but even a conservative version of it means your mentalizing network gets triggered constantly by strangers in the background who were never meant to be main characters. Every one of them is a tiny theory of mind puzzle your brain can't resist solving. And once your brain treats something as having a mind, it starts treating it the way it treats anyone with a mind, including the manners. In 1996, researchers Byron Reeves and Clifford Nass ran a simple study. They had people work with computers, then asked those people to evaluate the computer's performance, sometimes on the same machine, sometimes on a different one. People rated the computer more positively when giving feedback on the same machine, exactly like avoiding rudeness to someone's face. Across dozens of follow-up experiments, people apply social rules, politeness, reciprocity, personality judgments to machines, screens, and now, characters, even while stating outright that they know it's not a person. Reeves and Nass called this the media equation. To your brain, media equals real life, socially speaking, whether or not you believe that intellectually. GTA 6 is built to trigger this constantly. NPCs who react to you specifically, not a canned animation, but a response to what you just did. Police who escalate based on your actual behavior. Pedestrians who notice you noticing them. Every one of those interactions quietly asks your social brain to apply the same rules you'd use on a stranger at a bus stop. And your social brain says yes every time, without asking permission. So far, everything we've covered is about perception, your brain deciding something is alive. But the fourth lever is about something else, convincing you it's alive on its own terms, making choices you didn't see coming. For the first time in the series, GTA 6's trailers show NPCs committing crimes the player never caused. A carjacking happening in the background, a police chase you're not part of, an argument that escalates on its own. Community analysis has zeroed in on one clip in particular. An AI-controlled biker stuck behind a slow truck checks its position, waits for a gap, and overtakes. The kind of small, contextual decision a human driver makes without thinking, produced here by a system, not a script, someone hand-placed. Here's why that one clip spread everywhere. Predictability reads as mechanical, and unpredictability reads as choice. A puppet on a fixed track feels like a puppet. A system that reacts differently depending on the exact situation, that feels like it's deciding. You're not equipped to tell the difference between sophisticated conditional logic and free will, because in your day-to-day life, the only thing that has ever produced context-sensitive, non-repeating behavior around you is other minds. GTA 6's NPCs don't need to be conscious to pass that test. They just need to stop being predictable. Which brings us to the lever that isn't Rockstar's doing at all. This one you build yourself. You already have once with a game that came out years before this one. Everything so far happens automatically, in milliseconds, without your permission. This last one, you participate in. When Red Dead Redemption 2 shipped, players didn't just admire the NPC systems, they formed attachments to specific characters and animals. Some refused to complete missions that would harm certain NPCs. Some posted genuine public grief when an in-game horse died of old age. Every one of those players could tell you, accurately, that none of it was real. It changed nothing about how they felt. That's parasocial attachment. The same mechanism that makes you feel like you know a podcast host or miss a sitcom character after the finale. It requires consistency and time, not consciousness. GTA 6 is built to generate both, at a scale RDR2 never attempted. Routines that repeat, reactions that feel earned, hundreds of background characters who exist whether or not you're watching. Somewhere in that crowd is an NPC you'll recognize on your third playthrough, and your brain will file that recognition exactly the way it files an old acquaintance. Now, stack all 5 of these on top of each other and ask what you're actually looking at. None of this required Rockstar to build a mind. Hyperactive agency detection guesses alive before you can stop it. The mentalizing network guesses at intentions it was never shown. The media equation makes you polite to a police AI. Unpredictability reads as free will. And attachment, given enough time and repetition, builds itself. You did it for a horse. Rockstar didn't simulate a soul. They stacked 5 triggers that are older than language, older than tools, older than fire. The same wiring that once told your ancestors a rustling bush might be watching them back. GTA 6's NPCs aren't alive, but the part of your brain that decides what counts as someone was never built to be that precise. So when you finally meet her, whichever background character earns a name in your head without Rockstar ever giving her one, the question won't be whether she's real. It'll be why it felt wrong to stop caring. If this changed how you look at the next crowd of strangers in Vice City, drop a like and subscribe, because next time we're going somewhere uncomfortable. Why the violence in this same game is going to feel good, and what that says about the part of your brain that enjoys it. I'll see you in the next one.